Welcome back to Dicing with Death, everybody. Fenric,
Fun of my accent.
it rubs off. Fenric, you walk back out into the town of Hipari. There are all the usual things horses walking around, pulling carts, a lot of soldiers walking through the streets, kind of joking with each other and jostling one another back and forth. Kids delivering errands, people selling flowers, the usual.
Yeah, I'm gonna go try and find one of the nicer taverns around.
Okay. You come across the Elfwood is the name of this four-story inn.
Perfect, because I got a hankering for some elven wine.
Nice. Is that what you have next to you?
Um, I don't know. Is it elven?
I think so.
Yes, it's elven. What was I thinking? So I'll order myself a glass.
It is
Is the
ordered.
Kleintone elven?
No, there's not a single elf in town.
Damn. Okay. Gotta make my way back south one of these days.
The sounds of the town fall behind as the laughter and raucous noise of the tavern pick up.
Right. How much does this place also have rooms?
Of course, of course.
Of course. How much do I owe for food and drink for the night?
5 silver to live decently,
Alrighty.
to live like a real human.
It's been a while since I've done that.
Yeah. It's better living than you had back at home, so.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. And then I eat and drink and relax in the Elfwood.
Okay.
I'll probably keep to myself. Do I spot any elves?
No,
over the course
you
of the
spot
day?
no elves. You do spot a couple of what look to be officers hanging out, as well as some well to do merchants and one or two high class mercenaries, and one or two high class working boys and girls. There's also a bard in the corner who is playing a flute and then, singing a song and then playing some notes on his flute.
Right. That all sounded pretty boring to me, so I think Fenrir can keep to himself that evening.
Okay.
Sipping his wine, eating his food,
Give,
resting.
give me a perception check, Mr. Fenric.
RD20 plus 12, I believe. Oh, excuse me. Not so good.
Not so good at all. So you sip on your wine and you munch on your food, and just as you're getting up to go to bed, a beautiful young woman sits down next to you. Like you get up and you start to take your step away, and a woman sits like in the chair next to you, and looks up at you, and goes, "Leaving already?"
Were you waiting for this booth all night?
Well, I was trying to catch your eye, but you didn't seem to notice. It hurts a lady's feelings when you don't appreciate what she has.
I stare her square in the eye and I say, "Really? Because it seemed like you were avoiding my gaze." And I stare super intensely at her.
Give me a charisma check.
I have two different color eyes. I'm trying to remember what that. I was going to Google what that search was, or Google what that was called. It's like chromic dysmorphia.
Something like that.
Heterochromia. Heterochromia.
Heterochromia?
Heterochromia. Whereas you and I are homochromic. Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, charisma is not that great. It's only 9. RD20 plus 9. Nope. She holds my gaze.
No, she looks away and seems a little bit discomforted by by your gaze.
That's what I thought. I wink my brown eye at her and go to bed.
All right.
As I walk away,
Nope. You go to bed.
I check my fat coin purses.
They're fat still. Okay.
Right, and to bed. And I
To
wake up
bed.
at full HP with a lot of spells. I don't think I cast any spells yesterday. So I'll go ahead and... Wait, so does the night pass uneventfully?
The night passes uneventfully. You wake up in the morning.
The spells I already had memorized, just as a reminder. Sleep, Magic Missile, and Hall's Reckless Dreamer. Harung's Bane for Deflector, and Web.
Okay. You come back down in the morning, and a different bard is playing down here. People are being served various breakfasts. But there's something different in the air of the room. You notice a lot of people keep glancing at you.
At me?
Yeah. Not long stares, but as you look around the room, you'll catch people's eye as they look at you and they'll look away.
On the second floor?
Your room was on the third floor. The rooms are on the second, third, and fourth floor.
Just coming down the stairs into the common room.
Mm-hmm.
I think I sort of sprawl out and stretch and survey the common room as everyone's sort of shooting me furtive glances. I embrace the yeah.
You see a pack of dwarves that are sprawled out over two tables, as well as a group of human nobles. It's maybe not nobles, but merchants of sorts, wealthy merchants. And then the other group at the other table are high-class mercenaries. Their weapons and armor are polished, if not slightly damaged and used, but in good condition. Their hair is immaculately groomed, and they're speaking with an air of, nobility or some such shit.
Okay, well, I'll grab myself breakfast alone. I assume people continue to stare.
Yeah, it's not quite staring. It's just occasionally, as you look up from whatever you're eating, someone will look away from you real quick, like.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I stay on alert, keep an eye on all my belongings, but doesn't sound too concerning.
Okay.
Right. Now, so I should be fully healed, right? So that I gained 2 HP from that thing and 1 just as regular rest over the night.
Right.
So yeah, 2 from the poultice, 1 from rest. So I'm at full 5 out of 5. We lost Neil. Oh, there he is.
I dropped a die. So, what do you do?
So I'm over breakfast. I'm considering my plan of attack. So there's that mysterious light floating that I saw in the maw. I have a hunch that may be related to this whole wizard orb winter investigation I've got going on. But the maw's a scary ass place, so I need some muscle. I'm sort of eyeing these mercenaries, actually, I think.
Okay.
Even my original thought was to go, well, I've got the guard that I rescued that probably would, but then I'd have to wait a week. Could try Bohap because I know him. But so anyways, what do these mercenaries look like?
There's 2 swordsmen. Melee men. One of them has a long sword at his side and a shield with like a breastplate and some leather leggings with a chain skirt. The other one carries a spear with a couple of javelins on his back as well, and is wearing chainmail. The third one has a longbow with a quiver of arrows and a short sword, wearing studded leather. And the fourth member of the party seems to be a cleric of sorts. He is also wearing chainmail. He's carrying a what's it, a flanged mace at his side, and a quarterstaff in his leaned up against the table. You notice a few amulets draping heavily from his neck, and recognize the symbols of Martha, Astaire, and Quantarius hanging from him.
Just collected deities that have his back.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. So there's 3 total, you said?
That's 4.
4 total.
Yeah, 2 melee men, a rangeman, and a cleric.
Like a pretty quick party, and probably too expensive for my coin. Maybe not. Do they look like they're engaged in... Was this the haughty crowd, or was that...
I mean, they're very well dressed, nice looking mercenaries. They look a little haughty.
Mm-hmm. Nah. Too much risk hiring 4 guys that already know each other that I don't know, so strangers. Like, too much likelihood of them turning against me and going for my sword. And they're probably expensive. So I'm going to finish my breakfast and depart the Elfwood.
Okay. You leave the Elfwood and head back out into the city streets.
I'll make a quick stop by the temple and see how my boy Phoenix is doing.
You find Phoenix kneeling at the feet of the statue of Martha, center of the temple, in silent prayer. And you see Brother Seamus walking around with one of the acolytes from yesterday, kind of just walking down one of the aisles, chatting.
I will
Quietly.
approach the altar.
Okay. The guardsman, Phoenix, as you've named him, does not look up as you approach.
Looks like you've gotten to your knees. That's an improvement.
He looks up at you and goes, "Ah, Mr. Fenric, thank you for your help."
How are you doing? I sort of survey him. His wounds look much the same, or...
Yeah, they're pretty much the same. There looks like there's been some bandages applied to them, and looks like he's been wrapped in healing poultices or something. Because the priests tell me that I should recover swiftly. I wanted to thank you for your help again.
Not a problem. What is your plan once you get back to your feet?
I don't know. I've really only just got my spear and my armor, so I guess I'll have to find a mercenary group and work with them. Unless you have something that you'd like me to join you on. I am in your debt, as they say.
Yeah. Won't be too far outside of town, but when you're ready to get back in the maw.
What do you need in there? Are we going all the way through?
No. Just doing some investigating.
Well,
Should be within a day of town, but that's deep enough to get into the real shit.
yeah. Well, I guess I'm living on borrowed time now, and you may as well borrow it from me. Something.
We brought you back once, we can bring you back again.
Okay. Well, when do you want to leave?
Can I get a guess as to how many days it looks like till he's healthy?
You're gonna guess it'll take at least 3 days. He is wrapped in poultices, so he should heal a little bit more quickly than a normal person would. But he had almost died.
All right. So I think I'll plan on waiting a few days for my expedition to get this guy healed up.
Okay.
Can the poultices be applied beyond the first day?
No, first day is really all that will work for it. But it looks like they used a healing spell on him and then wrapped him in poultices. So
All right. So I guess I'll depart the temple.
okay. You've got 3 days to kill. Anything in
Yeah.
particular you want to do?
I'm wondering if I need more muscle. Trying to. Is one tank enough? This guy, he was the first to fall. No rock breaker.
He is no rock breaker.
I'm going to go stop by the Traveler's Inn, which is the inn that Bohap is staying for the time being.
Okay. You walk on into the Traveler's Inn. It is
This was just in the gate, I think, if I
yes.
recall. This was from last session. Noted on my character sheet.
The Traveler's Inn has a roaring fire going in it, even during the middle of the day. And there's no music, but there are quite a few people standing about chatting. Yeah.
Do I see any sign of Bohap? Or
You do. You spot Bohep and his remaining 3 archers and 1 spearman. They are all together laughing and talking and clinking drinks together and having a raucous time over on the far side of the tavern.
It's like early afternoon, late morning.
Yeah.
It's when in port. Party,
What do you do?
I Yeah, I guess I'm going to join them. Yeah, I'll buy around, so I'll make my entrance noted by coming bearing pitchers
Okay, so that's
of
6
ale.
glasses. 6 times 2 is 12 copper.
Of copper.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just shell out 2 silver and not worry about it.
Okay. Then you'll get a series of drinks over the course of this conversation.
Alright.
Oh,
Yeah.
Mr. Fenric, you've returned to us.
Yes, indeed. I was in town for a few more days, so figured I'd stop in with check on the old crew.
What are you looking to do here?
I'm merely buying time before I head back into the maw. There is something I must investigate further.
Well, what was your purpose of heading north? You've just been here a day. You want to go back already? I didn't figure for you for the messenger type.
I prefer the term harbinger.
That's rather ominous. What are you going back into the mall for?
Business.
You're not headed all the way down to Keygate by the sound of it.
No. I lean in close. I mean, maybe some of his guards will overhear, but we got like 6 around a table, so. What do you know about that floating light just south of town?
Well, it's been happening. It's been going for a while now. A month or so, maybe a little more. Strange light. Maybe 2 months. I don't know. We go through as rarely as possible.
How long ago did the snow start falling?
A month. No, less than a month. It's been like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Yeah.
Well, I mean to inspect this light.
Oh,
investigate it.
Mr. Fenric, You ever heard of a will-o'-the-wisp? Strange lights that appear in swamps and draw men off, usually to
Familiar with the term.
usually to get stuck in some sort of tar pit. They feed on the fear that a man emits as he slowly dies helplessly. I wouldn't go chasing random lights in swamps. It's the surest way to get yourself killed.
But a couple of spears and swords, maybe a carefully placed spell or two. Will-o'-the-wisp is nothing to be afraid of, if that's what it is.
You looking to hire some bodyguards?
This isn't a will-o'-the-wisp.
Do you mean to take us on?
I hadn't considered. Merely brainstorming. But if I was considering, what are your daily rates? And are your men brave enough to venture off trail?
He looks around the table. That's if you want to go off trail and into the swamp. I mean, our normal rate is 1 gold a day per person, plus an extra gold a day for me since I lead these expeditions and know the way so well. That's our normal rate for getting a caravan through the maw. If you want to go off the beaten track and head out into the swamp and poke around, I think our rates are going to double for that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That's 12 gold a day to poke around in the maw.
You got any contracts lined up?
We're planning on heading back down south. We're going to give it a few more days. And let me be clear here, boy. If we go into the swamp and start poking around, when I say we leave, we leave. I'm not going to get myself killed on some fool's errand. I'll protect you as long as it's not going to cost me and my boys our life.
I've already seen how little regard you have for that.
Hey now. Speaking of which, you ever how's it coming along?
My phoenix has risen from the ashes. He is resting safe and sound at the temple. I give him a few more days before he's ready to raise a spear.
I should probably go say something to him.
Be careful.
Yeah.
Then again, maybe Mother Martha's been rubbing off on him. Might be the forgiven type. Well then, you said a couple of days. How do you and your boys feel about making some gold in that meantime?
We could do it. He looks over at one of his fellows who seems to be kind of bruised and battered and has been leaning against his hand pretty heavily. And goes, I think if you want to head out shortly, we might have to leave Henry here behind. He's not quite up to tip-top shape.
I nod. 10 gold's less than 12.
Yeah, but that's one less person to count on.
Well, 2 gold apiece tomorrow morning for whoever's ready to.
You gonna go get your
Step out
phoenix,
onto the maw.
as you call him?
I'll see if he's ready.
Okay.
And yeah,
Okay.
so I'm gonna depart, and yeah, I'll go check in on Phoenix and see if he feels. Yeah, I'll mention to him that me and Bohap and the boys are heading south on the morrow.
If you're gonna go out into the mall, absolutely go with you, Mr. Fenric. Not a problem.
How does he look more beat up than Henry?
No, he looks in better shape than Henry.
All right. You rest up good, you hear?
I'll see you tomorrow morning at the gate.
All right. So I guess I'll get another night at the Elfwood.
All right, another 5 silver.
Another 5 silver.
And,
And yeah, let me. Does anything of note happen that evening at the tavern?
no. Nope, nothing of note. Well, hold on. Actually, let me make some dice. Let me make the dice.
Forge them. Forge the dice.
Nothing else seems to be happening. The evening passes uneventfully.
All right. So first thing in the morning, I'm gonna head back to the Travelers Inn.
Okay. You head back and you find Bohep and the boys.
I count out 100 silver. So 10. So 20 silver ahead.
Plus another 20 for Bohep.
Fucking Bohap.
Yeah, so that's 10 silver, 10 gold.
Yeah. 11 gold. Right.
4 for Bohep and 2, 4, 6 for the 3 other guys.
Okay. Yeah. So 100 silver.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I guess it was. Oh, whatever. 100 silver. And yeah, and then we head to the gate, meet up with Phoenix. How does Bohap and Phoenix interact?
Phoenix gives him a big fat glare, and Bohep shakes his head and says, "Sorry, boy. It's decisions you got to make as commander. I'm glad you pulled through in the end, though." And Bohep doesn't say anything else. Or, I'm sorry, he doesn't say anything else, and Phoenix pretty much just avoids him.
And I assume with Bohap at the lead, the gate is open for us.
The gate is opened, and you guys proceed out into the maw.
All right, I consult my notes and head south.
Give me an intelligence check to see if your
Pinpoint the
notes
location of
were
the light.
precise enough that you can follow them back to the spot.
Yeah, in the day without the light to guide me.
Right. The light that surrounds us
No,
all.
they are not good.
No. You're consulting your notes and you're walking out and around.
We're staying
And-
on the trail
right.
for now. I mean, I'm trying to find the point on the trail where veering off perpendicular would take me to the light.
You remember that it was only like a couple of hours out from town
So-
that you
yeah, so-
that you saw this.
I saw it from the camp, I believe. From the camp a couple hours south of town. But what the angle was from there. So,
Well,
so
you-
worst
yeah,
case
you-
scenario, we'll walk all the way to that camp.
You
few
do
hours.
run into the camp,
Okay.
and when you get there, you start looking like, okay, I know it's to that side of the swamp, but
So I think we take a lunch break at the camp, and I sit there and think about it, and probably am not able to get to pinpoint the location.
you're pretty sure you're 100% sure that it was to the west, but you're not sure how far. You know, your notes didn't.
So I'll be feigning confidence, and after lunch break, I will rally the troops, and we're going to start trudging off the trail. I'll say to Bohep now, I may be born by the swamp side, but the maw is your expertise, so let me know if there's anything I need to be aware. But we're going that way, and I point sort of west, roughly northwest from the camp, off the trail into the marsh.
Well, let's
And
go
I start
then.
sort of- I start leading the way. I want Bohap like right at my side, and if we can, how about Bohap on my right, Phoenix on my left, and then the other guys like a sort of a circle around us. So I guess there will be 2 swordsmen in front, 2 archers behind, or something like that.
Okay. Let me just...
Or are they spearmen?
Spearman. You're at full HP, right?
I am. Why does that matter?
I'm just changing things. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Oh.
Um,
I usually manage my own HP in the Roll20 thing, but also on my character sheet. So, are we able to move in that sort of formation, or is the terrain...
So I'm sorry. You wanted you in the front, Bohep on one side of you.
No, it would actually be the two swords, or the two melee guys up front.
Yeah. So it's Bohep and Phoenix.
No,
Because
me, Bohep, Phoenix are right next to each other, and then there will be the two swordsmen sort of taking the point.
the one of the spearmen was the injured guy
Okay.
who bowed out. So the only,
There's only one.
so it's the only other spearman would be
So
Phoenix.
it would be okay. So how about, so I guess Phoenix. Wait.
It's Bohep
I've
and
got-
Phoenix are the melee guys, and then there's 3 archers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So Bohep will be next to me. Phoenix will be probably 10 feet in front, and then the archers will be in the rear.
Okay. All right. So you head out in that formation.
Yeah. I'm gonna want to stay within 5 feet of Bohep because he has a reach weapon, and it's safe here.
Spears are not reach.
I thought he had a long spear, didn't he?
No,
Am I wrong?
you are wrong. He has a normal spear.
You described his spear as so long with this long blade. Maybe I misheard. But
Maybe I misspoke.
hey, if it's not on his character sheet or whatever notes you got there, I trust you. So apparently it's not safe anywhere on the mall.
Nope. Mall is a dangerous place. Give me just one camel's tail of a second here. Just modifying the maps that I can use stuff differently. There we go. No, it's one. I'm switching up some overlay things just to make more sense. There we go. Cool. So you guys head back out into the swamp, so so you head west from the camp, just kind of poking around, right? At any particular plan of action other than your formation?
I mean, I failed my int check, so I'm not entirely sure where it is, but I'm gonna convey confidence to the men and just sort of generally direct them west of that camp. See if we see any towers or anything suspicious.
Well, those are disappointing rolls. Give me a perception check.
The 20.
Okay.
Right.
So you head out into the swamp. It is mucky and gross. Do you remember anything else that would help you pinpoint the location of the tower, or are you just totally flying
Tower.
blind?
I didn't
here?
even know it was a tower. No, I mean, I'd written down notes as to where it was, but I saw it in the dark.
Okay.
So, I mean,
Cool.
we're probably lost, hoping that there's a tower
Yep.
spot.
You guys proceed out for an hour. Holy shit! An uneventful hour into the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing around. There's nothing to bother you. It's just swamp, 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 swamp. Bohep says, I got a weird feeling about this. The swamp is never this quiet, this inactive.
Have you
It's
ever been to this part of the swamp? At least in the last 2 months?
no, we never wander off trail. It's the fastest way to get killed. I mean, I guess
that's
maybe only the road is active with critters, but I doubt it. Where is everything? I mean, there's still like birds and shit flying around, and you'll see the occasional snake, but there's no
kobolds and
monsters trying to
spiders,
eat you
lizards,
alive.
birds. Actually, I'm a little surprised we didn't bump into kobolds. I'll give it another hour. I probably don't want to drill deeper.
Give me another perception check.
Yeah. So at this point, we're probably wandering. I'm trying not to get lost, but we're sort of just like circling the area for another hour. Nope. 17.
Okay, you guys just keep wandering. You run into another one of those tar pits, though.
Okay.
I think you had said you wanted to do something about that earlier.
I'm going to hold the men back, and I'm going to approach with my quarterstaff out front, sort of probing the ground in front of me and trying to find a soft spot where I can fill up my sample flasks with oil.
This time you find a nice big solid rock that leads all the way up to the bubbling tar pit. You see the skeletal remains of some sort of creature that has been stuck into it. The creature's gone all the way. It looks like maybe it was something roughly water buffalo shaped, sort of sized, but only its neck and part of its spine is visible sticking out of the swamp. So it must have sunk maybe 4 feet in, 4.5 feet in, and then just kind of just stopped sinking, and then God knows what rended its flesh from its body.
All right. Well, I'll lean out the edge of that rock and try and fill up a couple flasks of oil, actually, without touching the substance if I can.
Yeah,
Does it seem to be emanating heat, or is it?
No. I mean, it's a little. I mean, everything in the swamp is hot and warm. This tar doesn't seem to be any more warm than the rest of the stuff, though.
All right. And I sort of let the mercenaries circle around me as I go about this.
It's a difficult task, but you have time and you can get it done.
All right. So I'm going to change those 4 empty flasks to 4 flasks of tar. Actually, there'll be 5 flasks of tar at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that may be worth the journey. I bottle those up, put them back into my bag, and gather the men.
You are. It's
And start
little.
pitching back
Let's see, it
down.
took 3 hours to get there.
It's only been 5 hours. It's probably like afternoon.
Yeah, so it's about an hour or so past noon, and Bohep saying, Vanrik, if you don't know where you're going, perhaps we should start heading back. We don't want to be caught here in the night.
Yeah, let's get back to the trail. Unless you have a guess as to where the position was.
No. Give me another perception check as you walk back to the trail.
Nope.
Nope.
Not a good searching day for Fenric.
Okay. You guys start heading back to the trail when you come across. So let me check for surprise. You guys spot a. this thick, dense spider web that, I mean, clearly you've come across a different trail or a different way back to the road than you initially took out here. But as you're walking through, you push past some bushes, and there's just this thick, goopy spider web that covers an area that must be like 30 or 40 feet wide, just between all these different trees, and there's bushes all around it. And standing in the middle of one of these webs is this huge spider. It's like 6 feet across, and its abdomen, it's like just up and down, with its legs pointed towards the sky and its head pointed towards the ground. And Bohep immediately stops you.
Yeah, 6 feet of nope. Let's see if we can circle around. How far off is the spider?
Like 7 feet from you. Like you push past this brush, and immediately there's a spider right in front of you. Ooh, hold on. Must be my pizza. You know what? Let's take our break right here, and we'll see you guys on the other side. Bye bye.
Sounds good. Pizza break. Pizza party.